Hello. Quite a few people have been in touch over the last couple of weeks after the last video I did, which showed us how to host this virtual tour to my website, and a lot of people said they were struggling, which was great. I know I did. And then quite a few people have been asking me about, can you host to Amazon AWS from Theasys? Well, yes, you can. It's really easy to do. So what I thought I would do would be, I would just do a very quick video for you just to have a look. So this is one of the Theasys tours which is held on my website, on my server, which is under client tours Apex Living. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this tour. This is the one we did last week for 6, which is a new bar that's open near me, and it looked quite nice, and it would be nice to be able to host this because I think it'll get a lot of traffic, and that way we can cut back on our own website traffic. So this is how we do it. So what you would do is you'll go into your virtual tour options, and we're going to pick on 6, and what we're going to do is we're going to download it. So what we would do is we would click on the download action here. At the moment the theme we get is Theasys, but what we do is we give this a name. So we'll call it 6 Pier Point. Now the name part of it doesn't show up. You'll put in a Google Maps key if you want to. I don't particularly want to. And then there'd be a charge of £10 unless you're on the Pro copy. If you're on the Pro copy, the price is £0. And then you would just press proceed. You'll get this, that'll show, and it'll say we're preparing your file for download. It usually takes 5 to 10 minutes. When we're ready, we'll let you know by email. It doesn't take 5 to 10 minutes, but you'll see this little icon is ticking. So rather than us sitting here waiting, I'm just going to pause our screen, record, and come back. Okay, and through the miracle of editing, less than 2 minutes later, we've got a download link. So all we do is press the download link, and that will download our zip file. So less than 2 minutes later, our virtual tour is downloaded, and we're left with a zip file. So what we're going to do is very quickly just extract this. I've set up a folder there called 6 Theasys, so I'm just going to extract it to there. Tony Redhead's done a fabulous how-to set up Amazon S3 for virtual tours, which I'll link in the description, which is, I think, great. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go through Amazon S3. If you're not sure on how to use Amazon S3, Tony will talk you through. So the first thing you need to do is get started, sign up. When you've set up, you come into this page and you would sign into the console. And what we're going to do is we're going to create an S3. And the first thing we're asked to do is create a bucket. So we're going to call it 6 Pier Point, and we're going to select a region. I live in the UK, so we're going to create EU London. And we can copy the settings from an existing bucket. Normally I would, but I'm not going to for this one. And we just press next. On the next screen, we just click next. And on this page where it says block all public access, I always untick that. At the top, we've got to acknowledge that we're unblocking. And we click yes, create bucket. And we can see that 6 Pier Point is here as a bucket that we've created, which is great. So if we click in the middle, the first thing we need to do is go into the properties page, and what we're going to do is change it to a static web hosting, and it uses an index.html. So we type in index.html and press save. Next thing we're going to do is go to access control list and then bucket policy. So if we go into the bucket policy, Tony's created a copy and paste for you. If you scroll down a little bit, which is here. I normally just set one up from the other side, but what we can do is we'll just press copy and paste, and it'll ask you to use the name that you were putting in there. So where Tony has got his text there, I know mine is set up to be 6 Pier Point. So instead of having 360 panels, Tony's got 6 Pier Point, and then we press save. Say this bucket's got public access, we just press save. So if we nip back to Tony's instructional notification, which is great, you can see set the location, we've done that. we've created a bucket, we've gone through, we've got the name, we've done static web hosting, we've put that information in. Then what we do is we go back to permissions. So if we go back to permissions, you can see what Tony says is, if you click on edit, and what you're going to do is make sure that all of the public permissions are available. Just as Tony says, what we're going to do is we're going to go through permissions. So you're going to go to permissions, and then he's telling you to go to public access settings. Well, we've already done them. It's got block public access. We're not blocking public access, we're allowing public access. When we edit it, it'll say, do you want to block? No, we press save and we type in there confirm, which we've done. Scroll down a little bit for Amazon control list. So we're going to access control list. Who's got access? Everyone. We need to list objects and we need to press save. And we can say that everyone now has access to our page, which is brilliant. And now we come into the bucket policy bit that I've probably jumped ahead on. I've got my bucket policy in there, which I'm going to press save, and that'll tell me that the bucket is set up for public listings, which is great. So then if we go back to Amazon S3, our 6 power point is set for public. That's it, we're pretty much ready to upload our images now, or upload our tour. Unclick that and do that, and it'll say here upload. I'm going to quickly go back to 6 Theasys, which has got my information. Normally I wouldn't put the readme in, but we'll just put everything in, and we're going to drag that into there. It'll give us all of our files. We just press upload, and you can see by looking at the bottom, it's uploading quite quickly. But what I'm going to do is, again, I'm just going to pause this just until we upload, otherwise the video will be huge. And we're uploaded. While we're on this page, what we need to do is go to the index page, and we need to copy the object URL. So we copy that link address, and then we're going to go back to PowerPoint, and what I want to do is I want to download the config file. So it'll say here download. Yes, you'll see it'll download. It'll always ask you if you want to keep this file because it can be harmful. It's just because it's a config file. Then show in folder and edit. And what we're going to do is, in this line of code here, what we're going to do is we're going to paste what I've just copied. However, we don't need the index.html. So we delete that off, and that'll be our website address or our virtual tour address. Then all we're going to do is press save, close that off, back to the browser. We're going to upload back to our download folder, drag and drop and upload. Back to index, click on that page. You'll see this will take us straight into the Amazon server. Once we press play, do we want to enable audio? Yes. I don't have speakers set up, so that virtual tour, which is hosted on Theasys, is now hosted on Amazon. Exactly the same tour. So if you want to self-host your own tours, you can. Just remember one thing though. Want to turn the music off when you're talking. Just remember one thing. If you do any local edits to this virtual tour, if it's hosted on Theasys, it's easier because it's just an instantaneous copy. Just remember that every time you do this, you're going to have to download the tour and then re-upload it to Amazon. But the process itself is very, very simple. I'll put the link to Tony's article in the bottom. If you have any problem, the guys at Theasys, as you know, will come back to you straight away. I had a real problem setting this up originally I couldn't get my head around it. It's just because I've finally kind of sussed how to start hosting my own stuff. Why do I do it? I host onto my website, as I've said here, and the reason I do that is because I'm a bit of a control freak, but more importantly, it's an extra sell to the customers I can offer them. Hope that makes sense to you. If you get stuck, come back to me. As usual, keep smiling.